I have a fairly interesting story. Probably a lot of people don't know what the hell this is, and it was from the past, but it just started back up again. It was nicknamed the Russian Woodpecker, like Woody Woodpecker, the cartoon, Woodpecker signal. It was a very powerful signal, around 10 hertz, 10 times a second, and it came from Russia, basically. It really started in 1976, and it ended in 1989 with the fall of the Soviet Union, or the dissolution of the Soviet Union. It just stopped, and it was picked up. It's a real signal. It's not BS, but a lot of people didn't know and still don't know exactly what it's for. But the thing is, it's back. It's back as of December 2013. It's picked up on shortwave radio bands. They can hear it, and it's, I could say, well, there's a lot of conjecture what the hell it is. There's some people are saying it's weather modification. Some people are saying it's mind control. Other people are saying it's a type of over-the-horizon type radar. I don't know what the hell it is, to tell you the truth. Nobody really knows. One famous person, well, I don't know how famous you would notice it, but you might know about Dr. Bob Beck, Robert C. Beck, who talked about the Beck zapper and the Beck protocol with medicine, and he also developed a biotuner for the brain, healing waves and all that type of stuff, and bringing up your short-term memory and all that. He was one of the ones working with the Defense Department on this woodpecker sound that was coming from Russia. And it basically stopped. And nobody really knows what the hell it is. Nobody knows what exactly it is, or it comes from Russia. It's 10 hertz. It's very, very powerful signal. It creates interference with shortwave transmissions on a radio. They know that. But there's some other purpose behind this that nobody really knows, or at least if the purpose is known, it's not public information. There's a lot of conspiracy conjecture out there, but as far as this signal being real, it is real. It was present from 1976 to 1989, and it stopped approximately around the time of the dissolution and fall of the Soviet Union, or supposed fall. That's a theory. Actually, it's probably there's people such as Major Anatoly Golitsyn, former KGB, who defected in 1961, said that the Soviet Union's dissolution was planned all along, and he said so years before it happened, and he was uncannily accurate in what events transpired. So I don't really think it really fell. I think it's a long-range plan. But what's interesting is that this woodpecker signal has come back as of December 2013, just some few months ago or so, just a few months ago. So, I don't know what the hell that means. I mean, you could throw that out there in conspiracy land and knock it around and see what the hell's going on, but there are a lot of crazy events going on if you start adding up things like, the situation in Ukraine, the Crimea, the firing of 92 nuclear launch officers in the United States. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. And if you actually look into the religion side of things, if you look at the message of Fatima, I should really sum it up with this. I should bring this up right now because I'm not really that religious, but I looked into the message of Fatima and I applied my very critical common sense type thing to it. I realized it didn't really come from the Catholic Church per se. It came from children who saw something and insisted on they saw Mary appear in 1917 in Fatima, Portugal. Well, the message from Mary was about World War I ending soon, which was, World War I actually ended in 1918. The armistice was signed on 11/11/1918 on the 11th hour of that day. Real Illuminati stuff, right? People don't know that. So that prediction was correct. She said if mankind does not keep offending the Lord Jesus Christ with its sins, She said another war much greater than World War I was going to come about, and it would come about during the time of Pope Pius the 11th. And Pope Pius the 11th became Pope in, at the time there was no Pope Pius the 11th, but Pope Pius the 11th became Pope in 1922, and he was the Pope all the way up until 1939, during the time of the rise of Adolf Hitler. Interesting. And she says the actual war was really going to start by a light in the sky that everybody would see across the world. We was talking about World War II, and she was talking about this in 1917 to the children. So I'm putting this on the end of this. So I'm not really religious, but I looked into this thing and I said, "Wow, this thing's a little too accurate to not to ignore." But anyway, she says before the next greater war, which is what she was referring to, World War II, would occur, and she was saying this back in 1917, it would be preceded by an unknown light in the sky, and they had the borealis, aurealis, whatever you call that thing, where they have the night lights in the sky, was seen all over the world. I think in 1939, right around the time of Hitler invading Poland or something. They saw it in Australia. They saw it in New York. You could read a newspaper at night by the light of these strange lights in the sky. It was all over. Not a theory. It really happened. It was all in the newspapers. And it was really at the time when World War II really started, per the exact prophecy she said. Now, what she says for the ultimate is that Russia would be the instrument that would chastise mankind for its sins. And the only way the punishment could be stopped is through the consecration of Russia, specifically to the Immaculate Heart of Mary, by the Pope and all the bishops and cardinals throughout the world. Now, you might say, whatever, you don't want to believe that or whatever, fine. And some people say it's already been done, but actually it has not been done because the Pope consecrated the world to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. Didn't do Russia because he's afraid to offend the Orthodox Church in Russia. He was afraid to do that. So he didn't really quite do it. So anyway, I find that, I threw this in here because I know a lot of people when they talk about, what could come up in World War III, and actually, what's going to come out is Russia's going to wind up having its bad people inside of it get clobbered eventually after a lot of stuff happens bad in the world. Anyway, but if you're looking for some kind of legit drama, conspiracy theories out there, I'm actually telling you something that's not a theory. That message of Fatima is not a theory. I don't care what religion you are. It's like, I don't think it's a belief. It's like, if you really dig into it, it's like, I don't know. It's right there laid out. And what's been said so far has been accurate. But where you see the writing on the wall here is, I found it interesting because I've always believed, not that I believe it, but I looked very carefully at Major Anatoly Golitsyn's predictions and about the false dissolution of the Soviet Union per his claims, and I think that's entirely accurate. I don't want to talk about that too long because it can get very, very lengthy. Even about Gorbachev being given the keys to the Presidio before he was basically stepped down from power. It's the elitists, they're all working together, but they're playing with fire and they don't know what the hell they're playing with, to tell you the truth. That's another fact too. But I found it highly interesting. Basically, this video is really to tell you that the woodpecker signal that comes from Russia, which nobody knows what the hell it is exactly. It's a very, very, very powerful signal that can be picked up on shortwave, heard, and it's annoying it interferes with shortwave radio. It's very, very powerful, and it's around approximately 10 hertz, 10 times a second. It sounds like a woodpecker, like something like that, like a slow, whatever the hell it is. And it was present from 1976 up until 1989. Now, I'm not somebody who just knew about this. I knew about this in the 80s. Okay? I actually knew about it back then. I mean, I'm a person that's not just opening my eyes to these things in the last couple of years. I've known about all these things for decades, so I don't like, get all like bent out of shape because I knew about this stuff a long time, and I pretty much know how things are unfolding, and I don't really like it, to tell you the truth, but it probably is unfolding that way. But the woodpecker signal is back as of December 2013, and it's coming from Russia. Now, I don't know what the hell it is for. I don't know what it is, but it's basically not something that's natural. It's something very powerful, something that had to put a lot of special equipment together to do. And I find that kind of interesting that we have this Ukraine event happening, and also the nuclear officers getting fired, and all this other crap that's going on. It's, not that something's going to happen tomorrow or even this year, but, just beware of the future here, because, I have to say this. The preppers are not that stupid, man. I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't know what the deal is for sure, what's going to come up. And I don't like people getting all freaking fear-mongering. I don't play profit for fear. And I personally can't stand, I'd say at least 99% of the freaking alternative media jerks out there, because they have a very anti-American message. They're all fear-mongers, and they provide no solutions. But I'm telling you guys this as a heads up, because I don't think this is really like a story that's going to be printed in the major media, maybe not even in the alternative media. I don't think it's going to be printed anywhere. But it is a fact that the woodpecker signal is back, and it's always been known, or at least that it's something with the military in Russia. It's not something that's natural. It's not something that's really good or beneficial. And I don't know what the hell it is exactly, but it's been it was gone since the dissolution of the Soviet Union. I'm repeating it again. In 1989, that's when it stopped. All these years, nothing was going on. December 2013, it's back. And now you got this deal going on in Ukraine. So I don't think something's going to happen tomorrow or this year, but could be happening fairly soon, maybe in a few years. I don't know. So, anyway, for informational purposes anyway, I really can't tell you exactly what to do, but it's not that I'm not going to present something big drama. I'm not going to present like these jerks. I can't stand, I'd say 99.9% of the alternative media out there with their drama, scaring the crap out of people for nothing. And they're also anti-American as all hell, in my opinion. They totally ignore what anything bad Russia does, and they only throw dirt at the United States and what the elite in the United States do or whatever. That's the alternative media. I can't stand them anymore, to tell you the truth. But that does not mean I'm on board with the major media that whitewashes everything that goes wrong in the United States too. So let me stick with the true truth here. But anyway, that's the story. The woodpecker thing is back as of December 2013. I know I'm repeating it, but I repeat it because sometimes people ask me again on the comments. That's why I repeat stuff. Anyway, all right, over and out.